Hey, everybody. It is December and we are back. My name is Sarah.
I'm Amy.
And hello, I am Tara, and I am so excited to introduce another fabulous Amy to join us tonight. Before we hear from her, just as a reminder, if you have any questions, please feel free to type them out. We'll be sure to ask our amazing guest tonight those during the live. I'll read them for anybody who's, listening or watching later on. But we'll try to get some different links up there from our guest. And then anything else that we'd love to share with you. But Amy, tell us all about you. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is pretty cool. I have listened to several of your podcasts, and you guys are awesome. So you're doing a great job with that. Well, I don't know. I am a singer and songwriter, and my husband and family and I moved here to St. Augustine, Florida in it's been about 6 years, I think. So before that, we lived in Nashville for over 20 years. And we just made our living like writing songs and going out and playing shows and stuff. I mean, my journey has been pretty long as far as like, I think when I was a little girl, I always wrote songs, and I thought that everybody wrote songs like in their head. I thought they heard songs, music playing, and they made up words to go with it. But then I realized later, I'm like, I don't think everybody does that. I think I'm just kind of weird, but I always do that. I still do that. But I started, I guess, like at Dollywood. I don't know if you guys have ever been to East Tennessee, Dollywood. I'm from East Tennessee originally. And so I was in college and did not know what I wanted to do. Like, wasn't really that great of a student. I majored in like sorority fun. And
Love it. Yeah. Right on. Yeah.
So I auditioned to be in shows at Dollywood, production shows. And I thought when I was at the audition, wow, this is really awesome. I love this. I love being around all the people and, all the things. Everybody's a singer, everybody can dance, everybody can do all these things. And so I got the call that I did not make the show. And I was like, what? And they were like, well, we really loved you, but you're in college, you're in school, and this is like a 9-month contract. I was like, hold up. I don't even like school. I don't even know what I want to be. I'm looking for something to do. They're like, okay. So
sorority fun is boring.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Winning.
So I did that for like 5 seasons, and that was great. Like, I was very excited to, just be there every single day. I was like, I can't believe they pay us for this, so that went on for a while. And at some point I was in a band, the Clifford Russell band, and I would work at Dollywood, and then I would drive to Gatlinburg and do those shows. So I worked from 3 in the afternoon until like 3 in the morning, and did it all the next day too. But after that, sometime in there, I started like thinking, I really need to move to Nashville. I want to see if I can really do something with this. So I did. And I moved to Nashville. And the only person that I knew that lived in Nashville was my brother, who was in college, and he played basketball at Belmont, and which is a Christian college in Nashville. And so I moved in with him and 3 of his basketball playing buddies. I lived in like the top of this condo, this little tiny attic room, and I thought it was the greatest thing. I cleaned the kitchen, and I didn't have to pay rent. So I was like, there you go.
This is like a Disney princess like story.
Right. Classic. Right on.
Yeah. So I did that. And they were like my bodyguards, and they would follow me and like be like, go to the clubs with me when I'd go to songwriter nights or whatever. They're like, oh, you can't go to that place by yourself. We got to go with you. I was like, all right, well, that's what we're doing tonight. Let's go. And so we did that. And I was a waitress also. I was a server at the Wild Horse Saloon. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's a pretty big place in Nashville. And then I realized that wasn't what I came to Nashville to do, was be a server, but everybody else is too. So, that's just what you do. So then because I had been singing so much at Dollywood and stuff, and like for hours and hours, then I went to singing never almost. So I put a band together, and we went out on the road, and I was once again with 4 stinky boys in a van, in a trailer. We went all over the country, all over Canada, all over Germany. We went so many places and just played like 5 nights a week, 5 hours a night, and would stay in like super crazy, like stinky band houses. And, not, I wouldn't say they're these days, but back then I was like, yeah, this is fun. Let's do it. So after about, I would say, I think about 5 years of that. And that's very hard. That is very hard. Because everybody in Nashville, musicians and singers and stuff, they're always looking for the next thing that they can do. So when you have a band, all the bands rotating all the time, because you don't want to just be in like a bar band, like in Idaho, you want to be in Nashville doing something. So I finally, about 5 years into that, I was like, all right, I'm going to be done with that. And I started singing demos. So when people write songs for their publisher, they're like, okay, we'll have somebody perform this song for you in the studio. So I did that for a while, and that kind of noticed a little bit. So a few people were like, we like the song, but who's the singer? And so people started like talking about me in Nashville on the 3 streets that are like Music Row. So that was cool. And then I was doing demos and hanging out with songwriters, and I thought, well, I have made it. This is it. I did it. But I didn't. So a publisher called me one day, and he was like, do you have any of your own songs? And I was like, yeah, I have a lot of my own songs. And so I gave him it was actually a cassette tape, because it's been a long time now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he listened to that cassette tape, and he called, and he was like, I think you have something to say, and I want to sign you as a writer. And I was like, you do? And he was like, yeah, I think your songs are really good. I was like, they are? So I started writing there. And from there, that grew into my record deal. And I was on Curb Records for a while. And the road there was a little bit rocky, but it was fun. We did a lot of really cool things. I was able to go into the studio, and, we recorded a lot of songs actually, but they put out like over the time, it was like 7 songs, and they would pick a song and they would put it out to the radio land, or you would go to the radio station and, try to get them to, play your song, play your music, fall in love with you, play all your songs all the time. And yeah, we had several songs out. We did a lot of videos. I was able to do like a few really good tours. We were the opening act for Toby Keith on his, I think it was the Unleashed tour. So that was really cool. We played lots of big arenas and stadiums and stuff. So that was awesome.
How exciting. Like,
I know. That was a long answer to that.
So wait, I have like so many questions, Amy. I'm like, I should have been
Yes,
taking
please.
notes, because I was like, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to forget. First of all, did you meet Dolly Parton?
Yes.
Is she as nice as she seems to be?
She is very nice. She's very exactly how you see her. That's exactly how she is. She's very nice. And she's very, I'm sure you know the history of her and everything, but, she gives back to the community. She like buys all the books for all the children, like until they're start kindergarten. And she does so much for Tennessee, and especially Sevierville, and, where she's from. And she's very, very cool.
Yeah, she is. I think she's
While I was there, we were able to do a lot of photo shoots with her, and like on the grand opening day, she would be there. My very first thing that I did when I first got hired there was the grand opening celebration, and it was her, and Kenny Rogers was also there.
oh, wow.
Dolly and Kenny, and they were singing, and I was like, this is amazing.
Like those are like good people to like. Those are like legends. Like,
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is.
Now,
really
are you still writing songs today?
I do, but not as often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you perform
Yes.
periodically? Okay.
Yeah, my husband and I play all the time, actually. He's a musician as well. He's in a touring band. And so when he's He's home and not on the road. We play in St. Augustine.
Awesome.
Yeah, we play all the
Well, we'll
time.
have to find out where, ladies, and we'll have to go
Yeah,
and listen
I
to you
think there
live.
might be
Amy.
one tomorrow
There is
night.
one tomorrow night.
So, Amy, what do you prefer more? Do you like songwriting or do you like singing?
I like singing.
You like singing more. Now, did you?
My dog's in the background. Sorry.
I was looking at. I'm like, oh, he's playing. So now, did you have any singers that we would recognize that actually used your songs?
Yeah, I've one of my songs was it was called My Sister, and it was Reba McEntire. And that was cool. She sang it on the ACM Awards one time, and I was like, "Oh wow, that is really cool."
Wow.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah.
Could
So a
we
few other things.
play? Could we play one of your songs though?
Sure.
All right. Let's get this one
So
going.
did you help pick this guy?
Did I what?
He was a bad boy, and I was a good girl. He needed me to smooth out the edges. Well, he'd get his drink on and flirt with the ladies. And after 2 years of his crap, I quit begging.
We gotta get to the chorus.
Oh yeah, we gotta get.
Fix you up a man if I know it's fine. Or do I let it burn my hand? You better work for the devil. Be suspicious if he cries. You know sex is usually good, yeah, but it ain't always right. Chocolate is a band-aid, no matter what they say. Shoes don't stretch, and men don't change.
Love
Chocolate is not
it.
Band-Aid. This is quite
Oh
chocolate
my
is not Band-Aid.
gosh.
I'm gonna say that now. Chocolate is not Band-Aid.
Oh, look at this from Tammy Williams, our favorite song. It's on our playlist on Spotify.
You are adorable. Did you get to pick that guy? Because we were like Google-eyed over him when before you got on. We're like, oh, he's hot.
I did not pick the guy. No, I did not. You just kind of show up, and then you're like, oh, wow, okay, yeah.
What was that like making a video? Like, I mean, we see the front part of it, but what was it like being in it?
I mean, that was my first, I think that was my first video. No, that was actually not my first video, but that one was fun. We did that
Awesome.
in somewhere in California, I think. I can't remember exactly where it was, a city in California. But what was funny about it was like you show up and you go to hair and makeup and, everybody's setting up all the different shots, and the director and the lighting guy, they know what they want. And basically you just do whatever they tell you to do. And you just say, they're like, okay, go. And you just have to act like you're singing it and, do all the things. But that one had like an ordinance where we had to be finished by a certain time. And we were not finished. And there was like, we had, the whole bridge section. There was a whole bunch of parts that we hadn't done yet. So we were like, the director's, it was close to his house. And he was like, all right, we're going to shoot the rest of it at my house. And I was like, we are? So everybody loaded up and they drove to his house, and we finished the video at like 3 a.m.
Oh,
So it was a long shoot on that one,
You
but
feel
it was
like,
fun.
Amy, when you're talking, sometimes I feel like you were just Google-eyed yourself, like all starry-eyed when you're like, we are, oh my gosh. Like, I mean, that's sort of like a really fun, exciting life. To everything seems so like, oh my God, right? We're going here now.
What have
Well,
you
I don't know.
loved the most in terms of performing and traveling and really being in this business? What is really, I know when you get the bug to perform, it's kind of in you. It's just in you. So what is it that you love and continue to love about performing in this business?
Well, that has changed over the years, I would say. Like when I was younger, I just wanted to be a star. Like I really did. And I was not a star. I tried my best. But, I got to do a lot of fun things, but I never really broke into the business. I was never like, Taylor Swift, obviously. But I wanted that. I did want to do that. I wanted to play big shows, and I got to play some big shows. But the thing that I've come to know as I've grown is that I really am a singer, and I really am a performer. I love to play music. And so my husband and I, that is my favorite thing, that we get to perform together and we can write songs together and we can make up parts together and we can, play guitar together, and it's just, that is enough for me, and it's like a lot for me. So I'm like excited that it's kind of still going on and that we have big plans to play other shows and stuff like that. So I don't know, it just keeps evolving, and the music part, and it's never left me. So
Amy, you said you
Awesome.
and your husband still write songs together. Now, is that for you guys just to perform, or do you guys ever give those to other singers and say, hey, sing these for us?
Well, for a long time we wrote at the same publishing company. So we did try to do that when we were in Nashville and stuff. And I had, I was a successful songwriter. And so was he, while we were there, like for like 14 years, you get paid to write songs. There's really nothing better. You just like make up stuff all day long. And yeah, that was not a good one. That was a good one. Okay, let's try to do this. Let's, you have like song pluggers that pitch your songs to other artists or other producers that know artists and stuff. So it's just like a whole big game. But these days when we write songs, we also have a band. And so we like to write songs that we would want to play, and kind of like, kind of the vibe is more like kind of Southern rock than it is like country nowadays. So
That's awesome. What musical instruments do you play, and how long have you played them for?
I barely play acoustic guitar.
Really?
I watched you perform. You play
Yeah,
it. You just like to hold it like an accessory.
I
barely.
play, but I mean, the reason that I learned to play guitar was because I was in that band, the Hillbilly Gypsies that drove all over the country, but I couldn't afford another guy. So I was like, well, we got to have something else here. And they're like, well, you got to play the guitar then. I'm like, okay, teach me how to do it. So I learned for that reason. So because we were poor and we needed to make some money. And since when Jack and I got together, like, 20 years ago now, but, playing with him, he's like such a great musician. So that makes me want to be a better musician. And he obviously shows me chords and stuff. And I mean, I have good rhythm, but I'm not going to like pick stuff. So, I mean, I can do it.
The Hillbilly Gypsies. What an amazing
I love that
name for a band.
Thank you.
Amy, that's like, oh my gosh, off the chain. Let me process that. Really? That's fantastic.
You need shirts with that. That's like a cute shirt.
Yeah.
No, right.
He has shirts, but they are not for sale. I searched for it.
Oh my gosh.
We're on Thriving Females. We can market these very quickly.
Right.
I was like, I'll be your biggest fangirl here, walking around in my
Right?
Amy shirt.
Yes. Yes.
That is really good. You need to do just that as a t-shirt. That's a
Well,
really
during the COVID thing, everything was shut down. So Jack and I decided to clean out our garage, and we have this drawer thing that has all of like, like CDs that we've made, or you know what I mean? Like our 2 different albums are in there, like just drawers full. I don't know why we still have them, but also there was like some merch, some shirts. And so now sometimes he wears the Amy Dalley. It's like a big, my face is huge on his shirt. I'm like, please don't wear that. He's like, I love this shirt.
I just love that you're like, yeah, we got merch in the garage.
Right. Right.
We have merch in the garage.
Yeah.
I think you need to do something with that Hillbilly Gypsies. But
Yeah.
Amy, you said something that, I didn't make it. But I think you did. You got like, and Amy had sent me a message and go, I don't know if I'm really thriving, but I'm, 100% trying. And I love that. But you tried. You've been doing all this all your life. And you, in your head, you probably had like, I want to make it big. But to me, I'm like, you've gotten to travel all over the United States, Canada. You've gotten to see some amazing places and, meet amazing people. Like, I'm impressed with that. I don't, you don't have to be the CMA award winner, but did you go to CMAs? Have you been there?
Yes.
Now, so you've gotten to meet people there, right?
Oh yeah.
See, now that's like,
I love it. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
Maybe a few,
that's impressive to us.
Well,
I think you've done you've lived a life that like a lot of people have dreamed of, and me who can't carry a tune, I'm like, so totally would love to do that. I
Yeah, it's just like, I guess, just being in Nashville for so long. And then, I mean, comparison is, the thief of joy, I know, but you can't help it. You're like, she's doing this, I want to do this. And so you're always like seeing where you are, where you rank. And so that's why I would say that. But I do feel blessed that I have gotten to do a lot of fun things. Like, I have gotten to see a lot and do a lot. And, it's just a different phase now of life. So now I can look at it and be like, yeah, that was kind of cool. But, I used to be kind of grouchy about it, but I'm good now.
Who has been your inspiration? Who like when you were much younger and you were really kind of going after this goal and objective to be this amazing performer, which you are, and superstar right here, right now, who has been your biggest kind of I just had a brain fart. Okay. Can I just say that? Okay.
Well, I had a lot of influences, musically.
There you go.
Yes. I mean, I loved Dalley and Loretta Lynn too for country, like songwriting. They just say it how it is. But I mostly listened to rock music when I was growing up. So, like, I loved Pat Benatar and Stevie Nicks and Hart and all those beautiful ladies. So, yeah, I mean, as far as like seeing somebody like that I wanted to be like, I was a little bit like late to the game as far as like realizing that you can write songs, like you can make a living writing songs. Like I just thought everybody did that. And then I was like, oh, you can actually like pay your mortgage and stuff with it. So
that's a pretty good gig, right?
Yeah, that's not bad. So once I was like in there, I just wanted to keep going and keep rising.
So what do you say to other young women that are like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it?
I mean, yeah, go for it. I say go for it. Do all the things. Like get in a van and, go play your songs. And now it's like TikTok. Just make a bunch of TikToks, I guess.
Make a dance to it and let it go viral.
Yeah. Whatever you got to do.
That brings me like, now that social media is so present, do you feel that's completely different for singers and songwriters now? They have like maybe an edge up of getting their songs out faster, or do you think there's a big difference with this, having the social media?
Yes. I think that somebody can like break into the business. There are lots of stories where people have like broken into the business, like by making TikToks and it blows up. But the thing about it is that when the streaming started, that really changed songwriters' lives. Like you could no longer just be a songwriter and make a living because streaming, you don't get paid. You get like less, like a fraction of a penny for when you play a song that's on a streaming service like Spotify or iTunes or whatever. So when that happened, when that big shift happened, that's when the music business changed. And that's when I was like, I don't know if it's worth it,
So when you brought up Spotify, okay, so I've wondered this. And so when singers, back in the day, they had the cassettes, I mean, way back 8 tracks, and they had the album CDs, they got paid on those purchases. And now, like, how is it that songwriters and the singers actually get paid? I mean, I pay like the $19.99 a month for my Apple Unlimited. Like, are they getting like half a cent? I mean, how do they get paid now? How does that work?
Very fractional. Yeah, there is a lot of arguments and in Congress trying to get like the rights, back to the creators of the songs, because it's right now it's like there's not a lot. Like there you can look it up. There's like that song Happy. Cause I'm happy.
Yeah, by Pharrell.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to think of his name. He's posted many times like that has hardly made any money from that song. Like, I mean, money, but not like you would think it would be, because that's one of the biggest songs.
Popularity.
Yeah.
Is that whenever did financial income to singers start to deplete once they went on to these apps of Apple, Spotify, because they don't have those devices anymore?
Yeah, I mean, they just don't have it in place that the creators and the singers can make the money from it. So
Is it better to do now? Like, do you feel like singers are now going towards concerts? Is that where they make the money?
Probably more off merch sales.
Merch. Love the word
And
merch.
that's why she still has them in her garage. So
I still got some just in case.
They should be
I mean,
more-
no, you got to say we're
Yeah,
going on again.
if you're playing a big show, and you know, you can sign a contract with like Live Nation or a place like a group like that, then you're going to get paid for doing that. But you got to be a big artist to do that. There's a lot of up and coming artists that are, you know, they're not making a lot of money.
Wow.
I mean, everybody
That's-
thinks you
that
are, but
merch
you're not.
is where it's at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen some of the t-shirts are like $42. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you see people buying like 4 of them, and you're like, okay, now I get it.
Right? Yeah.
One for each day of the week, you
That's
know.
right.
I want my hillbilly gypsy one.
Right. Boom. Right
I'm
on.
seeing on a baseball cap,
Yes.
Amy. We have new merch. I could have next
Yeah,
time.
it might work.
Amy's merch.
Amy's merch. That's the name of the shop.
Amy, you're gonna have your own little spot on the Thriving Female social media button to go to
Just
Amy's
a little
merch.
button. Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
Right. Yes.
I love it. So, Amy, does your kids sing?
They both are really good singers, and they don't sing. Well, let's see. Our daughter was a dancer, actor, and singer. She did lots of musical theater. So yeah, she does. She doesn't now, but she was for a while. She was really pursuing that. And our son is an athlete, and he says he doesn't want to do anything with music, but he is pretty good. He can sing, he can remember and hear melodies in songs that most people don't. I'm like, why'd you even sing that? He's like, you can hear it plain as day right there. I'm like, oh, okay.
Amy,
It'll be like a little organ part or
Well
something.
done.
Amy, you said your son can remember all of them. Do you have a Rolodex of all the words to every song? Do you remember them all, or do you have something you follow?
Oh no, I have to remember because I'm like, I can't see. Like you guys are blurry to me right now. So if I had to look at something, I wouldn't be able, I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to lock it in right here.
Amy,
But a lot of
I
people do
feel
read.
you on that one. I can't ever see either. So I'm like, you're blurry. I'm just
Yeah,
kind of
I look better blurry, so it's
Yeah.
good.
Stop.
do you ever screw up a song though? You like put a whole new line in there because you're like, oh, whoops.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Somebody's singing along with you, and then they're like, wait, what?
Well, sometimes I have to like look over at Jack and be like, what's his mouth look like he's getting ready to say? Oh yeah, I remember it because it'll come to me at the last minute. So
You just roll with it,
yeah,
right?
you just go whatever.
Do your
At
thing.
least you're a good lip reader.
Right.
What
Amy,
an
so
exciting professional career, Amy. Really, just
This
yeah,
is awesome. Yeah, this
so
was really
exciting.
And
Yeah.
it is. We have
Thank you.
had I just love how people have taken their talent. We had an opera singer that was on a cruise ship. She went all over on cruise ships, but then she also performed in like New York City and other places, and then is in the music field now. But then like you've taken your career and done so much with it. I love that people are see that's thriving, Amy. When I say you've been thriving, you've been thriving.
Right.
Yes. So yeah, you've had a really amazing life, and it's been like awesome to share your story with everybody today.
Thank you. Thank
And we
you.
got to do some extra plugs. You do perform pretty regularly on Sunday and Thursday nights.
Yes.
In St. Augustine, typically trade wins, but
Right.
you'll usually share out on your social media
Yes.
where
I'm a
you
big
guys are going to
sharer.
be at. Personal plug, Amy is a fantastic massage therapist. And
Thank
so
you.
if anybody's looking for some extra R&R this holiday season and you want to treat yourself,
Yeah.
Amy, do you sing while you do your massages?
Just inside. Just inside.
I didn't know if
Me,
you asked.
myself,
what's
and
your
I,
favorite
right? Yeah.
genre?
it's a future
Weird
endeavor that
add-on.
might come out.
I'm just thinking we will rock you, going really well. I know. Now, how long have you been doing your massage therapy?
11 years.
And how did you get into that?
Well, when we were going all over the country, I would always go get a massage because it was like hard to travel like that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I just thought in my head, one of these days I'm going to do this. I think I would be good at it. And then when the music business changed and I was like, oh, I need to do something else. I need another stream happening. I went to school. So
And there was no sorority there.
I was not distracted by parties.
Well, we
Well,
definitely will come and see you for sure.
Awesome.
Yes. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for having
Very
me. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Actually, I'm going to put a thing in there. We're going to come see you if we get to wear hillbilly gypsy shirts.
Right
I want to wear
on.
Amy's face, right?
Yes, just my
Right.
face.
Or Amy's face. There you go.
Yes.
Get some merch.
So to wrap it up, I just want to bring a fun little quote from one of our regulars. I'm not going to attempt it, but this is coming from Peggy Clark Sharstrom, FYI, a brain fart in Inupiat is called those letters that are put together.
This is my mother, and she lived in Alaska in a village. She has quite the story too, but yeah, that's quite a soft.
I love your mama.
Yes, yes.
So, Amy, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story. I love
Oh,
that
thank
you were
you.
so open to
you.
sharing kind of your history and where you're at now. And we were very excited to share in your thriving success.
Yes.
But we may or may not have some more December shows. We are still working with some other thriving females out there, but keep an eye out for those. And we'll be sure to share some links on Amy's songs as well. But if we don't get to see you until the new year, happy holidays, safe
Right.
Yes,
travels.
happy holidays.
Yes. And we'll see y'all
Great.
later. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.